What's up, everyone? All right, it is 4 p.m. The closing bell has just rung. I'm going to give you my recap of today's trades, and we're going to recap the overall market today. Market's dipping down a little bit. S&P 500 pulling back towards the bottom of its ascending channel, and the reason is we had December job numbers that came out. So the numbers must have been bad, right? Market's dipping down. Wrong. The numbers were good. Wait a second. Numbers are good. Economy's strong. Why is the market dipping? Because it decreases the likelihood that we're going to see the Federal Reserve reduce interest rates as early as some investors were hoping. So what that means is that the bond markets and interest rates are climbing back up and equities usually dip back down. They have this kind of inverse relationship. So if we jump onto the screen share here, you'll see, I just actually happen to have Walgreens up. Walgreens happens to be having one of the best days it's ever had. It's up 27% on the day right now. It's pretty impressive, kind of bucking the trend of the overall market. The market is down, as you can see right here on those job numbers. And if we look at the S&P 500 on the daily chart, you can see how we're kind of coming down right around this ascending support trend line, sort of at the bottom of this channel. So it'll be interesting to see if it holds this area or if it comes down to this next lower ascending support line, or even down all the way to the 200 moving average. So that's the condition of the overall market. We're on a little bit of a pullback, but that didn't stop me from having a pretty decent day today. I locked up some profit, $9,521.06, green on 4 out of 4 stocks I traded. But you know what I had to ask myself? Very beginning of the day, Ross, is this a base hit day or is it a home run day? And pretty early on, I realized that this was base hit stuff at best. And you know, it's a real shame because I had such an awesome day on Wednesday. Wednesday was the best trading day of the entire year. We had a bunch of stocks that were really strong, and then market holiday on Thursday, a day of mourning for Jimmy Carter. So the market was closed yesterday, as you know, but the effect was that now coming back Friday morning, it just felt like, where's the volume? I was looking around. The leading gapper at one point was only 45%. It's like we just didn't have the momentum that I was hoping for. Now, I think this is kind of like Black Friday. It's Thanksgiving's on a Thursday, market holiday on Friday, and it's market holiday on Thursday, and then you come back on Friday. It's always slow right after that holiday, and that's kind of what happened today. So unfortunately, we had such great momentum, and then it kind of got killed by this holiday in the middle of the week. Well, I don't know if you call it a holiday, but the market was obviously closed. So when I first sat down this morning, I pulled up the scans, and the leading percentage gainer on the day, VMAR. Now, I pull up VMAR, and I'm like, all right, I've seen this stock a couple times. It's a Canadian company, VMAR Marine Technologies. Now, marine technologies is not a very sexy sector. I mean, this is not biotech. This is not pharmaceutical. It's a company engaged in designing and manufacturing electric outboard powertrain systems and related technology. It's not a super exciting sector that they're in. And yet the stock was up over 100%. So when I first sat down right here at 7 a.m., I looked at the scans at about 6:30, I thought, okay, well, we've got a low float. It's up quite a lot. It is the leading gainer. I should probably consider it. And it did have news. So at least we had a catalyst. That was what was driving the momentum. So I thought, all right, we've got a catalyst. I'll see what we can do. So I ended up breaking the ice with my very first trade, going right into 7 a.m. And what I actually ended up doing was I bought off of support. So right here, we had a little bit of a flat bottom at $3 right there. So $3, we had this support. And it came down once and then twice and then again. And so I say, you know what? I'm going to get in here right off of this $3 support. So my stop is basically $3, $2.99. So I've got a very tight stop. And I thought, let's just try this off of support because since it's the leading gainer coming into 7 a.m., I wonder if it's going to get a squeeze. Well, I was wrong. But that's okay. I focused on making it a base hit. So I got in it right here. It ends up popping up to about $3.30. Not quite 30 cents, but close to it. And as soon as it wasn't able to pull away and hold over $3.25, I said, no, I'm going to jump back out. So I locked up $1,361.90 on it. That's a base hit. Now, of course, my daily goal is still $5,000. And I'm thinking, all right, I'm green, but that was nothing crazy. That was nothing big. And what's next? So now I'm awaiting and hoping that we'll have some breaking news at 7 a.m. So I'm sitting here at 7 a.m., I'm looking around, and we got nothing. So 7 a.m., no news. 7:30, no news. So I sat here for an hour. I didn't take any trades until 8 a.m. when all of a sudden AIFF squeezes up. AIFF hits my scanners, and as soon as it hits my scanners, I pull it up, and this is one of these fast trades. So I'll back this up on the 10-second chart to show you what I was looking at. When the stock hit my scanner, my immediate reaction was, okay, it's moving quickly. It goes from 3 to 360 to 380 to 4, all the way up here to 5, hits a high right here of 624. So where did I jump in? Well, I got in a little high. I broke the ice with a 1,000 share starter at 523. So that was right here as it broke over 5, stop at $5. So 20 cents of risk, 1,000 shares is $200. So I'm comfortable taking that risk, basically trading around the $0.50 and the whole dollar. It goes up to 550. I add for the break of 550. It squeezes up to 6. I add for the break of 6. Hit 624. It comes back down. I take all my profit out right here. Then I add back right here for the first candle to make a new high at about 588. Unfortunately, I anticipated that it was going to do this. It did not. It came back down. Stopped out of that more or less break even. It drops all the way back down here to 4. I bought the dip off of $4. It pops back up a little bit to 460. I mean, 4 to 460 is more than 10%. It's nearly 20%. So it's not a bad bounce, but it's nothing super impressive. But at this point, I was just doing a dip off the low. I just figured because it dropped so much, it would bounce up a little bit. But I already knew this stock was probably not going to be something I would be able to get more trades on for a move back to the high. So in total, over the course of about 4 different trades on it, I locked up about $3,100. Not bad. I mean, scraping kind of the bottom of the barrel though, because this was not very strong. It did not hold up. There was a pop, a little bit of profit, and then the dips. I think I had 2 dip trades and, didn't get a lot out of it. So I think it was $1,500 on this first trade, break even on the second, and then the 2 dip trades were each like $750. But unfortunately, it came all the way back down. So that was at 8 a.m. So at that point, I'm thinking, all right, this is not good. Now, I will tell you that one of the most important skills that I have as a trader is my ability to cut my losses, to bail out quick. The second something is not working, you know what I do? I press Control Z. I'm out of the position. I bail. Now, I saw some traders who were fumbling today. They're trading with real money and they're fumbling. They haven't gotten dialed in with how to use their platform. They don't have the hotkeys set up. They might even be using a platform that doesn't have hotkeys. And so suddenly they're in a moment where they're green and they want to take profit and they're fumbling. The profit disappears. Now it's red. They're still fumbling, trying to get out. You can't trade like that. So if you're in a position like that, first of all, flip to trading in the sim. Don't keep trading in the real money in a platform that doesn't allow you to trade quickly. It would be like trying to swim with weights around your ankles. Could you do it? Maybe for a while, but why would you? Why would you try to do that? Why would you make it harder on yourself than it needs to be? Trading is hard enough without, making it more difficult through the choice of a platform that doesn't allow you to move in and out of the market quickly. So I'd really encourage you to think about the platform you're using if that's something you're struggling with. So AIFF, for other traders, it might have been a loss, but for traders who are quick and cut their losses quickly, for me, it was a small winner. All right, so that was 8 a.m., top of the hour. Now, I'll say that I was feeling a little antsy for a win today. And for those of you guys that watched my recap on Wednesday, had a pretty epic recap. Wednesday, of course, was the best day of the year so far, was up $34,000 in profit. So we'll pull up the calendar here. This is the month of January, and there's the profit from Wednesday. But you want me to click on it? It's not going to look so pretty. I barely even want to look at it. Why is it not loading the chart? So it for some reason is not loading the chart. I don't know if it's, oh, there it goes. Maybe slowly reloading it. Oh, there it goes. So this is what was not so pretty. Had a great trade right away up to $30,000. Squeezed all the way up to $56,000. And then schmuck that I am, I came back seeing this stock squeezing that I was trading, made an extra like $200 on it right there, and then proceeded to lose about $25,000. Yikes. So I finished peaking at 58,000, but finished at 34,000. I gave back quite a bit of profit off the top. And so that left me feeling today that although, I had a green day on Wednesday, I still kind of felt like I had just lost $25,000. I sort of felt like I was down 25,000 off my peak, off my high. In fact, I knew that I had crossed over just about 100,000 on the year and then lost 25 grand. So when I sat down today, I couldn't help but feel a bit of an itch to hit a big winner. And that made me pretty discouraged when I realized pretty early on that it wasn't going to happen. It didn't happen on my first trade on VMAR, and it didn't happen on AIFF. And at this point, it's 8 o'clock and we've got nothing. There's nothing else that looks good. So now at 8:32, the next trade was breaking news on AREB. This one got in and got out quickly, very similar to the other two in that it was a breaking news pop. We had a headline on it, and this is actually what's going to be really annoying because the stock I made the most money on today, XHG, guess what? It had no news. So the stock I made the most money on has no news. But the other three stocks that actually have news, and you could argue have a good reason to go up, don't hold up. They end up rejecting. So what's the deal with that? I don't know. But that was just the market that we were in today. So AREB, this one hits my scanner, and I did a quick trade on this in at 275 for the breakthrough 3. So that was right around here. Bought the dip, got a break of 3, stalled out at 310, and that was it. So, I was trying, but there just wasn't much happening. And then all of a sudden, XHG starts popping up. Now, there are a couple of other stocks that popped up as well, and we'll look at those. But XHG pops up, and I'm thinking, initially, no, I don't think so, guys. It popped up the other day and then sold off. Why would it? It's the backside of the move. But sure enough, it goes from 80 cents to $1, $1.20, $1.40, $1.50, $1.60. And I bought on this pullback right here, and we got that squeeze up to 220. So, all right, I got some profit on this. This is a nice 5-minute setup right here. It corresponded with a 1-minute setup. And, I took the trade, made $3,500 on it. And look, that's fine. It's better than nothing. But in order to make that money, I had to buy 20,000 share positions and just sort of chip away 5 cents, 8 cents a share. And I got a few winners like that, which, totaled out to 3,500, but it didn't come easily. And so at that point, I peaked at 9,500 on the day, almost twice the daily goal. And I thought maybe I should just call it here because at this point we were coming into the open. So XHG ended up selling off at the open. There was not a penny stock. There was an easy to borrow stock, DLT. I can't remember it right now. Maybe I'll see it on this. If I switch to the gap scan, I think it was a top gapper. So these are the top gainers. Let's switch to the top gappers. DTIL, this was it. So I'm going to link this to my charts here. So DTIL, this one did hit the scans, and I chose not to trade it. I don't know. It popped up at 4 a.m., pulled back, did another squeeze, retraced it, came back up. I was like, nah, I don't think I can trust it. So didn't trade that one. DATS ended up being on the scan late morning, kind of rallying up. I didn't think a lot of this one either. It had popped up a couple days ago, then sold off, secondary offering. So I was like, is this really something I can trust? I didn't think so, but it did go from 3 all the way to 7. It just didn't feel like today was a super obvious day or a super clean day. And so kind of a bummer there. And it honestly would have been a pretty easy day to go into the red if I had tried to swing for home runs. So what I ended up doing today was, because I never really got a big cushion on the day, I just stayed in the mindset of just chipping away, small gain, jumping in, jumping out, jumping in, jumping out. I did that, 10, 15 trades, whatever it was over those 4 stocks I traded, and built up a little bit of profit on the day. But I never went to full size today. There was nothing that supported me being that aggressive. But that was good, because if I had gone to full size today, I actually think that there's a pretty good chance I'd be red. If I tried to size up, with 30, 40, 50,000 shares on one of these today, they went up 10 cents a share, and then that was it. So I wouldn't have had profit. It wouldn't have worked. I don't think it would have worked. So I think it was the right move to keep things tight and, just to kind of, get in, get green, and then be willing to get back in. But if it doesn't prove itself and it rolls over, then just like that, I'm stepping back and I'm walking away. Now, the good news is we're still at the very beginning of the month here, and the market overall in total has been really strong. I'm in a nice position on the month right now. I've got a cushion. Adding today's profit, I'll be at about 85,000 on the month. So, all right, look, this is good. A $5,000 daily goal. I'm exceeding that so far. So right now, I just got to keep my head down, stay focused. We've got finally a full week next week. We have had 3 weeks in a row with market holidays. We had Christmas, we had New Year's, we had Jimmy Carter Day, whatever you call it. And then we've got MLK Day on January 20th. So the market will be closed on this day, which is also Inauguration Day for Trump. So we've got only 2 full weeks of January. So we got to make the most of it, but at least next week is a regular full week. So if you look at my statistics and my metrics, what you'll know is that I make the most on midweek. Generally, it's Wednesdays. So let's see. I'm going to try to get this to load. All right. So days and times. All right. So Wednesdays, that's where I peak right now. Mondays, kind of break the ice, try to build a little cushion, get green. Things are going well on Monday. I lean in on Tuesday, get a little more aggressive. Massive, confidence, big wins on Wednesday. That's very common. And then easing off a little bit Thursday and then really cooling off on Friday. That was true this week as well. Wednesday was the best day of the week. So, next week coming in Monday morning, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to look for some opportunities, try to build the cushion. And then from there, hopefully, if I can have some good success on Monday, that's going to set the tone for the week ahead. I'm all about trying to be consistent. I mean, look, red days happen, red weeks, they can happen periodically. I don't like it when they happen, but it's going to happen from time to time. But my focus right now is consistency. So 2024, I set a record of the least number of red days I've ever had in 1 month. In 1 year. And it was 24, which averaged to 2 red days a month. But I had a couple of nice stretches. I had a no red July, a no red August, and a no red December. And I only had 1 red day in October. So I had really some nice stretches here through 2024. We look back to 2022 or 2021, you're going to see more red days. Even though in total I made more money in 2021 than I made in 2024, I had more red days. I was kind of a little bit more on the roller coaster of big green days, but then also catching some big red days. And 2024, I really smoothed out that kind of equity curve. And if we look at my equity curve just for the last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, this is nice. Now, things definitely picked up kind of right here. This was like all of a sudden we're coming into the election and everything was sort of pointing that Trump was actually had a real good chance at winning, and the market responded really well to that. So that kind of started this current leg up that I'm on right now. But it's not just me. I did an interview with one of my students on Tuesday. No, was it Tuesday or Wednesday? Wednesday. And he, really impressive. He only had 7 red days last year. 7 red days. He's got his $250,000 badge at Warrior Trading. He's not doing anything insane. He's focusing on relatively small daily goals. And yet his consistency is really solid. So you want to know the secret to his consistency? He doesn't take full size until first he's built his cushion. And so what he said is that because his strategy, he's using Thinkorswim, commission-free broker, and he usually sees a lot of opportunities each day. If he goes red on his first couple trades, he's trading with small size. And there's usually enough time in the day that he's able to recover from red to green. He stays with small size until, finally he gets a couple trades and he gets back to green. As long as you maintain decent accuracy, like in theory, if you can maintain 60% accuracy and you can always take 10 more trades, then you should never have a red day. As long as, number one, you still have 10 more trades, you don't run out of time. And number two, you're managing your positions responsibly. If you take way too much size on the first trade, you could dig the hole so deep that you can't recover. You can't just keep trading with huge size on every trade. So position management, both in share size and kind of how you ease into the day by building a cushion or not, is a real determining factor into whether or not you're going to be a trader who has high consistency, high accuracy, and maybe a slightly lower profit loss ratio, or you're a trader that's a little bit more on the roller coaster of big green days and big red days. I've done both in my career, and I can tell you, hands down, I would always rather be this kind of trader right here. Consistency. Even if it's not big green days, just keeping the red days small, staying consistent. Now, this happens to be $1.2 million of profit, but it could be $120,000 of profit, and I would still be happy because the consistency feels good. Consistency is a massive confidence booster. All right. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this recap. It's the 4 p.m. closing bell recap, I suppose. Here we're at about 4:30. So we're coming to, half hour since the bell rang, and we're not seeing much happening after hours here. Being Friday, it's not surprising. So things are definitely cooling off here. And for those of you guys that want to spend some time this weekend studying, I'm going to put a couple episodes right here, and right here, or right here actually, that you guys should check out. So check those out. And I'll remind you, as always, trading is risky. My results aren't typical. So please manage your risk and practice in a simulator before putting real money on the line. Thanks as always for tuning in, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you see these new uploads that are going to be coming on Saturday and Sunday.